Hello everybody, and I just wanted to share with you about the up and coming in July 20, the Career Expo for the Sunshine Coast. For all those local people to the Sunshine Coast, apologies if you're not local, that this one is about the Career Expo. If you haven't been, I just want to share a little bit with you as to why you might go, even if you're not a school student. And I've been, I think, twice now, 2 or 3 times, obviously not last year. So let's just have a quick look. I'm just going to share my screen and go through this is the link I shared with you guys in the, if you're in the Buzz Career Seekers group, I shared this link with you. So careersevents.com event, Sunshine Coast event. So they have one in Adelaide, Brisbane, Townsville, but this one's ours, especially for Sunshine Coast. 20th of July, 10 till 2. Then it's their lunch break. Don't go in that time. I accidentally went in that time once. And then 3 till 6. So yeah, it's empty between 2 and 3. Okay, so just having a quick look as to, it is a lot of it is directed at training. Now, the exhibitors obviously pay for a stall, so they're wanting to be there to sell something, but we're going to tap into those people because hopefully that you haven't got admin or salespeople, but even them, but rather industry. So even though a couple of years ago I was chatting to the guys in the landscaping stall, and so I was talking to them, they were talking to me. There was a whole new course. They were selling courses, of course but they'd both worked in the landscaping industry for quite some time. They were talking about a new course, I forget what it was, Cert 3 or something, where it was vertical gardens, because that is something that's completely new, and so it was a new training yard. So we had a long conversation about the changes to their industry in landscaping and horticulture, agriculture, things like that. So use these guys for information about your career choice. If I'm wanting to be working out, by myself sort of thing, what course would be the most suitable, and what are the career outcomes of that course? So you're getting that career insight, you're getting that career exploration while you're there. They're trying to sell a course, but you're trying to get information, and you can do that, and you can do it really well. And they're all there in front of you. So you don't have to door knock at everybody. So it's far easier to do this career exploration while you are here. You might have to hear a little bit of their sales, but that's okay, because maybe there's a course there that you might need. So visitors here on this site, access the latest careers. So like I did, they were telling me about advancements in their industry, which I wouldn't have realized had I not been talking to them. Course study or employment options. So always ask, if they're offering courses or programs or whatever it might be, what are my career outcomes? What can I physically do if I study that course? Or if you have an idea of the actual career outcome that you want, and then go backwards. This is the sort of job I'm thinking. This is my career intention. This is where I want to be going because I have these strengths. What can you suggest? What pathway can you suggest for me to get there? Brilliant insight for that. How to enroll. Often people ask me about studying and how do I go about it. So enrollment procedures. I noticed that TAFE will be there, so they're a really good one about funding. How I might mention to people, there's oodles of buckets of funding, and the best way is always to talk to TAFE because they're all over the government funding. Being government, you don't have to study that with them. You can then go off and find it with someone else, but that, you are eligible for certain funding. It might be returning to work. It might be the job active. It might be a particular industry that's got, government will throw money for training into where there's employment opportunities. I always say if there's government funding for it, there's going to be jobs, because they won't fund anything that won't give job outcomes. So it's a really good insight. So yeah, TAFE's a good one to talk to about government funding for study. admission staff, how would you go about studying? Interstate, now these, where is it? Oh, here. This was one that I picked up, and it's got a lot of the creative industries, but it's not local. And quite often, you know, I have information about local training, but not always, you know, interstate. So these ones were there a couple of years ago. As you can see, it's a bit tattered now because I've used it. But you know, might be industries that are not so strong here on the Sunshine Coast or Queensland, film industry, things like that. I noticed there's film industry there, radio, which is great because that's always a tricky one. You know, these guys were talking about all the maths careers, which I love maths. But look at all of that. That's a lot of different careers. It's all linked to maths. So again, two ladies were talking to me from their stall about all the careers that exist in the world of maths. Use these people. They have massive industry knowledge. They have, or at least pathway knowledge into that industry. Bursaries, scholarships, application procedures. So I'm looking at a scholarship for my daughter, so that's a good one. But there might be scholarships, you know, available for you to do some study. I didn't even realize how many scholarships exist. I went on the QUT site and there was 3 pages of scholarships, and you may fall into one of those even as a mature age. So definitely tap into scholarships. Sometimes it's just because you know, live remotely, and you can't get to Brisbane or things like that. So, or it could be age. I saw there was a women's scholarship getting, you know, women into certain industries. So definitely look at those and have a chat about those. Comparing courses from different providers, you get a bit of a feel how they're delivered. If you are thinking of studying it, you've got to be there. But even if you're not thinking of studying and just want industry insight, definitely tap into them. Gap programs, I'd love to see that. I'm hoping to get there this year. I'd love to see what their gap programs are when we're sort of blocked internationally and potentially even state-wise. So maybe they're kind of offering some really innovative gap programs that might exist. So that would be worthwhile having a look at. I'm just going to go back. There's also, here you can get to see, which I'm sure they'll add to, they're saying updates, of all the different people who are going to have a stall there. Check up, that's like a community health, if that's the sort of industry into, again, health. All the universities are there, Defence Force. Friend of mine who I used to live in the same street, so in our 40s, and she has joined the Defence Force in the last, I think, 2 years. So, you know, there might be opportunities there where you get to study as well, or, you know, change careers. Demi International Beauty, if that's the space, university. What are those other ones here? Just Better Care, that's a new one. So you can click on those and get some information about, you know, who's that. So you can kind of make sure, you know, have a bit of a list who you want to chat to, or you can just aimlessly wander like me. So aged care, disability support, social lifestyle. This could be a really good one to chat to. I get a lot of questions. This is a huge employment sector that's just like with NDIS. And so it might be a good one to chat to. Often it's like, do I do a Cert 4 in disabilities? Do I do a Cert 3 in individual support? You know, those sort of questions would be really good to chat to these guys. This is where I'm thinking of heading, or if I do this course, is that going to get me to where I want to go? So there's a good one, Just Better Care. New York Film Academy, that sounds exciting. Plumbers Association, how do I get into the plumbing world? What jobs exist in the plumbing world? Master Builders, so that's your construction. Women Building Australia, that sounds interesting. Cooking, landscape, global foods, Kilcoy Global Foods, what is that? I don't remember seeing them previously. Oh, okay. Okay. Our brands, Kilcoy Globe. So that must be, is that, oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to go and have a chat to them. Beef. I know there's an abattoir out at Kilcoy. Careers. That's just jobs that have come up. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to have to stop and have a chat to them and see what they're all about. So there's lots of different exhibitors. It's not just about training. QTAC, how to apply to training. Creative media, that's them. That was this one, SAE, that I was talking about. If you're into creative industries. There's also now, so have a look there, but there's also seminars, so free seminars that you can go to. And you can have a look here. So time your visit so that you can tap into this. All the universities are there. But it's also, you know, these pathways information, and sometimes Southern Cross University was my university down in Lismore. But, you know, they might just have some good information on how to get there. I'm working with Montessori school at the moment. It's like, how do we get to uni? And everyone kind of has different ideas and different pathways. There's so many different ways to get in. Aviation Australia. This one here, the people careers in hotels and resorts. That would be really interesting to hear if you're a bit of a people person and like interacting. They've even got two there. The trade college, so leaving school, going into the trade college, that's for school students. Busy at work, apprenticeships, traineeships. They are not just for 17, 16, 18-year-olds. They really aren't. They're for mature people as well, people with wisdom as well. So you can, apprenticeships takes 4 years, traineeships maybe 1.5 years, 2 years. So you can tap into that, how to go about it. I have a brochure and there's 600 listed on there. So that one would be worth going to if you're kind of thinking of maybe doing an apprenticeship rather than studying. So yeah, it's definitely worthwhile going along. If you're feeling a bit not sure, you want to get some information, it would be a really good spot to get a lot of information. I take a backpack because you get a lot of these. you get a whole list full of brochures and things like that, but it could also be, you know, people to chat to later. So definitely recommend the Tuesday, the 20th of July, to go along to the Career Expo and create some conversations. That's what they're there for. Use them. Tap into all the information you can get about industry, careers, and pathways into those careers. Okay, got any questions? Just shoot them to me. Okay, bye.